Hey guys, Adam Napolitano here, and I'm back with another email copy breakdown that I thought I'd share with all of you. And today's breakdown features an email from the Gundry MD team. I love Dr. Gundry's stuff as a health supplement copywriter. His emails and VSLs especially are fantastic. Definitely worth studying. I know a lot of you probably are already on his email list, but if you're not, definitely get on his list ASAP. So today's email is actually promoting their Metabolic advanced product. It's one of their weight loss and digestive health formulas, but I didn't get this email from the Gundry team. I actually received it, as you can see up here, from Banana Sandwich, also known as Emily Lark. So obviously this is an affiliate email that Emily sent out to her list. And her team are smart. They're clearly testing different from names, which have been known to increase conversion rates. So good move there. But anyway, what I'm going to do for this breakdown is I'm just going to start at the top with the subject line, read the subject line, then read through the body of the email, and just stop along the way sharing my assessment, talking about what I think they did well from a copy or marketing standpoint, as well as talking about some things I think they can improve upon even more that maybe would increase response rate and conversion rate more. So let's go ahead, dive in, and get started. So with the subject line up top, we have top U.S. doctor, sugar is not the problem, this is. So overall, I think it's a solid subject line. I like how they start with a credibility point of top U.S. doctor. It also creates curiosity too, because it gets people wondering, well, okay, who is this top doctor? And then the curiosity is really just amplified over the rest of the subject line. Sugar is not the problem, this is. So that begs the question, well, what is this? What does that mean? If it's not sugar, what is the problem, right? So nice use of curiosity, and they're establishing a contrarian angle with sugar too, because conventional wisdom tells us sugar is the devil, right? It's what keeps us fat, makes us fat in the first place, linked to all these illnesses and diseases. So good use of a contrarian angle to really get attention. So I like the subject line. Wouldn't be surprised if it's pulling pretty decent open rates with the right audience. Now let's take a look at the body. We've been told for years now that sugar is the cause of all our problems: weight gain, digestive problems, sluggishness, insulin resistance, and disease. More and more health experts put the blame on too much sugar in the diet for all these health issues and more. So the first couple paragraphs there pick up and continue with the sugar angle, and it's really just setting the stage for their contrarian angle and also reaffirming the belief the audience already has, right? Just about everyone has been told, and probably to some extent believes, again, sugar's the devil. It's the reason why you're fat. It's the reason why you're sick and unhealthy. So it's confirming what they already know and believe to be true or think is true. However, according to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a world-renowned heart surgeon, eliminating sugar isn't the answer to feeling good again. About 75% of the food we eat has sugar added to it, says Dr. Gundry. It's unrealistic to ask people to stop eating sugar. So, we introduce the expert, Dr. Gundry, additional credibility element given with the world-renowned heart surgeon, and this is where they start with the contrarian angle in regards to sugar, saying eliminating sugar from your diet is not the solution to feeling good, to feeling healthy again. And I really like this sentence here. The 75% of food we eat has sugar added to it. This is really powerful because this is doing a couple of things. Number one, it immediately builds on the argument, logically, that eliminating sugar from your diet isn't the answer. But even more important, it absolves the reader from blame. Right? How many times do we see in sales letters and VSLs, it's not your fault? That's a powerful sort of persuasive move to help absolve the reader from blame. But instead of just outright saying it's not your fault, they're doing it in a more subtle, indirect way with a statement that's true and logical, and that's leading the reader to reach that conclusion on their own. Because when they read that, a lot of these people are going to start thinking to themselves, well, I mean, he's right. He does have a point. Like, pretty much all of our food nowadays has sugar in it, right? It's kind of hard to avoid sugar even if I wanted to. So, maybe I should cut myself a little slack. Maybe it really isn't all my fault since everything has sugar in it. So I really like how they did that there with that sentence. All right, continuing on. Instead, he says he's discovered a way to fight back against the negative effects too much sugar has on the body without having to stop eating it. So there's kind of the first main claim and promise that they're making. You can still eat the foods you love. You can still eat sugar without having to wreak havoc on your body. Consistent overconsumption of sugar can cause a harmful condition known as metabolic slowdown. Warning signs include unwanted belly flab, brain fog, slower metabolism, tiredness, constipation, and even difficulty concentrating. Metabolic slowdown currently affects tens of millions of Americans. Dr. Gundry explains metabolic slowdown usually develops over a matter of years and sometimes even decades, but the damage caused by sugar-laden foods is not normal. So here we have introduction of the mechanism behind the problem, which is metabolic slowdown. In my opinion, this is kind of the weakest part of the email. I feel like it's a bit of a letdown, right? So the email does a good job of taking this contrarian angle with sugar, which is interesting and somewhat exciting, but then you kind of lose that with metabolic slowdown. Metabolic slowdown is very general. It's not unique. Most people already know this or believe it to be true, right? Like, I think most people have a basic understanding that as we get older, our metabolism tends to slow down, meaning the stuff we eat, whether it's sugar, whether it's fat, instead of being burned for energy, more of it's going to get stored as fat, right? So like this is nothing new and exciting. And usually in the health space, and this isn't always true, but oftentimes the most successful or appealing mechanisms are new, interesting, exciting, or at least positioned that way, right? The mechanism itself, like the concept, doesn't necessarily have to be new, but just the way you position it and even just the name that you give it can make a big difference. So I would have liked to have seen them kind of create a mechanism or at least position and name the mechanism more specifically in line with sugar, since that's the angle they're taking. For example, even something as simple as glucose hibernation, right? Where you're saying the same thing, you're basically saying, hey, as you get older, the more sugar you consume, instead of being burned for energy, it's going to hibernate and be stored as fat, right? Now, honestly, glucose hibernation isn't that great of a name. I'd probably try to come up with something a little different, but like you get the point, right, of how that's more congruent and more specific to the sugar angle that they're taking here. All right, so let's continue. The good news is this problem can be easily fixed from your own home with the method Dr. Gundry has developed himself. It's very simple. My technique is a way to help your body process the sugar you eat so that it's being used as energy, not stored as fat, he says. By employing this relatively basic process, Dr. Gundry has seen thousands of people make swift recoveries. In fact, he even lost 70 pounds himself. People are also reporting dramatically improved digestion, more energy, feeling healthier than they have in years. Okay, so now they're pivoting from the mechanism of the problem to teasing the solution. The simple technique that you can use so to help your body process sugar appropriately so it's not getting stored as fat. Starts introducing a little bit of social proof with his own results, how he lost 70 pounds using the same technique, and then kind of just adding in additional secondary benefits to the implied fat loss and weight loss, right? Improved digestion, more energy. So that's pretty standard there, with those extra benefits. Continuing on, now after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release a free informative video to the public showcasing exactly how his metabolic slowdown solution works without changing your diet and enjoying the foods you love to eat guilt-free. So again, they're reaffirming and kind of restating the main benefit or main promise of still eating sugar, still eating your favorite foods that you love, while being able to avoid the negative health consequences and not stay or get fat, essentially, right? My mission is to help everyday Americans achieve good health, he explains. So if this video can help people achieve that, I'll be thrilled. The video has since gone viral, first being shared by users on various social media platforms, then being featured on news sites like ABC and CBS. Click here to watch the presentation, so call to action. And then you have this nice video thumbnail, that nice click-inducing image with what appears to be our banana sandwich. Looks like a banana and peanut butter sandwich. And then an additional link, CTA below, watch the video. So fairly standard CTA there that you see in a lot of health copy. So, nothing special there, but a good approach to take. I do like, especially right before this first call to action, how they introduce that extra proof element saying the video already has gone viral and has been featured on major national news networks like ABC and CBS. So that makes the reader even more likely to want to click to see what the video is, knowing that, oh, hey, this has already gone viral and been featured on national news. This must be worth, something worth checking out, right? And then the last section of this email is kind of like a PS section, even though you can see it doesn't actually say PS. So Dr. Gundry also serves as the personal physician to many A-list celebrities, most notable of which include legendary self-help guru Tony Robbins, Oscar award-winning actor Alan Arkin, Grammy award-winning singer Usher, and countless Fortune 500 executives. Now, there's one thing Dr. Gundry asks from his viewers. If watching this helps you take control of your weight back, fight unwanted cravings, increase your energy, ease gas and bloating, or find relief from stiff, achy joints, Dr. Gundry says, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we can help as many people avoid these health issues as possible. Click here to watch the presentation. So another great use of credentials and credibility, right? They start name dropping. Dr. Gundry is a personal physician of all these famous A-list celebrities that most of the audience are probably going to recognize, especially Tony Robbins and Alan Arkin, right? So, these people are going to be thinking, hey, man, if this guy is the personal physician of Tony Robbins, he must be legit, right? He must know what he's talking about, someone worth paying attention to. And then what I really like, that I find kind of clever, is that last paragraph right before the final CTA, where they come out with that additional ask saying, hey, if this actually helps you, if you find this helpful, please share it with the people you care about. That's a great way to potentially get extra advertising, extra eyeballs on your offer completely free. Now, there's no way to track, how many people actually do that in their real lives. Tell a friend, tell a family member about this offer if they find it helpful. But it certainly doesn't hurt to ask, right? It's reasonable to expect if this is going out to tens of thousands of people, or even more, probably some people will do that. So nice move there to potentially get some extra free advertising, basically. So that does it for this critique. I hope you found it helpful. One final thing I want to say is you'll notice, or you probably have noticed, this is a long email for a classic affiliate swipe. This is about 500 words. And if you pay attention to emails in the health and supplement space, especially affiliate type emails, many times they tend to be a lot shorter, a lot punchier, like maybe 100, 150-ish words, and they just really hit hard with sort of blind curiosity and just lots of teasing. And you can see that's not the approach here. And this is one of the things I really like about the Gundry brand, is because they have such a legitimate and authoritative expert who's the face of their brand, they take advantage of that and they actually approach their marketing kind of from that expert preeminent view, right? Like they really have Dr. Gundry play the role of expert and kind of take the time to educate his audience, saying, this is the real problem behind your health issues. This is why it's a problem, and this is how you can fix it. So they do a really good job of kind of blending, authoritative expert education with direct response principles that are a little more toned down, right? Like you never see over the top hyperbolic claims, and it works real well for them. But that's something important to keep in mind. They can get away with that because they have such sort of a well-known and authoritative expert as the face of their company. If you don't have that, this type of approach probably not going to work for you. You're probably better off kind of sticking with the traditional, short, punchy, lots of curiosity, lots of teasing approach that's very common in the health space. So that does it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. I'd love to hear from you, to see what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my assessment? Is there anything else you would add in kind of critiquing this email? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Love to get a little dialogue going back and forth. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.